The purpose of this resource is to provide guidance for utilizing scaffolds that are embedded in the EL Education District curriculum. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. It is a temporary support that acknowledges what students already know, the barriers they will face in achieving new learning goals, and the instructional supports that will benefit them in negotiating those barriers. Throughout this learning opportunity, we'll focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within EL education lessons using Lesson 5 from Grade 5, Module 1, Unit 2. An EL education scaffold overview document for elementary ELA grade 2 through 5 can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. Please refer to this document for additional supports as you plan. The lesson components listed on the slide are where you can locate embedded scaffolds within lessons and will be highlighted throughout this presentation. In this lesson, students will listen to and read aloud and follow along silently to the chapter of Los Aguacates. They will then understand how the chapter fits into the overall structure of the text and make connections between the chapter and the UDHR. The content in this lesson has significant focus on discrimination. Students will read it more closely to answer questions and are given the opportunity to share stories about discrimination after answering the questions. Diversity and identity will be celebrated at the end of the lesson in order to end on a more positive note. The basic design of this lesson supports ELLs by providing a respectful and safe place for students to reflect on the sensitive events in Esperanza Rising, to answer questions and make connections between the events in the chapter and the UDHR, to discuss how these events fit into the overall structure of the story, and to share personal experiences of discrimination as they feel led. ELLs may find it challenging to complete the making connections between Los Aguacates and the UDHR sheet in the amount of time allotted without teacher guidance. Provide scaffolding for support. Each lesson provides a section of supports for English language learners. These should be read as these strategies may be helpful to all students regardless of language proficiency. Note there is another mini language dive in this lesson. These are so beneficial to students to increase their close reading skills and critical thinking skills. Many high-level students are not used to digging deep in the language and wording of text, so this provides them with the opportunity to do so. After you read the selection, you can do the mini language dive on page 270 of the teacher guide that focuses on an idiom. Remember, some students may have a graphic organizer to track the main events. Also remember to check often for comprehension, and at times, students can sketch what they are understanding from the story. The universal design for learning is a way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. Consider ways to facilitate increased comprehension by repeatedly offering opportunities for students to access prior knowledge and review previous material. Consider decreasing the complexity of the task by pre-highlighting key portions of the text for students to focus on. In the basic structure of this lesson, students share out experiences with discrimination if they feel comfortable. This is a great way to make the struggle for human rights relevant and interesting to students. Metaphors may be challenging for many students to grasp. Complete the first couple together, releasing support gradually until students are in small groups or partners. You may also need to work in a small group with students who may need a great deal of support in completing this. Also, for students who need heavy support, give them a word bank for interpreting what the metaphors mean. Create sentence frames on the board for students to copy. As you read Los Aguacates, discuss the meaning and have Spanish-speaking students help. Add to the Spanish-English dictionary anchor chart. After reading, do a turn and talk and consider writing a sentence frame on the board for students needing more scaffolding, such as, this part of the story made me think about because. Remember the mini language dive on page 270 of the teacher guide. It's a great sentence to unpack. He is getting rich on other people's bad manners.